plan was to just roll in a couple of days into Ukraine. When that didn't happen, and clearly he'd spread his forces out very thinly, and they've met very stiff resistance from the Ukrainian forces, who've done an absolutely outstanding job. I think now there's that moment of what next, and I think that's what's vexing the international community at the moment.
Do we know roughly how many two-star generals there would likely be in a conflict like this? I mean, 4, is that a large proportion, or is it a tiny number? A
tiny proportion of a force the size. I mean, I think they're talking about 20 being involved in this particular campaign, but it wouldn't be at all surprising to see a 3-figure number of that sort of level of generals in the whole of the Russian military. But even so, it will be a real surprise to see them involved at the tactical forefront of fighting, because that's not where they add value. They're generally a little bit older, so they generally are less capable of fighting and more capable of using their experience and their strategy to win the conflict by how you move the pieces around the board. And therefore, it's quite a surprise that they would be involved so closely with the tactical fighting.
But if you're saying that there could be around 20 in this particular campaign, and we know that 4 have died, that's essentially a quarter of their most senior officers there on the ground, isn't it?
If the numbers are true, then that would be a very significant loss. And I think the question is, so what? Is why are they there? And I think, as you alluded to, I think that's a symptom of how this is not going according to plan. And whilst I have no doubt Putin will be wanting to tell everybody that, of course, it's going according to the playbook, I don't think anybody outside Russia believes that, and we're seeing that on the ground.
Air Vice Marshal Sean Bell, thanks very much. Well, the Defence Secretary Ben Wallace is in talks in Warsaw with his Polish counterpart. Their discussions will focus on the war in Ukraine, the security of NATO's eastern flank, and the almost 2 million refugees who've fled to Poland from their homes in Ukraine. Sky's Lisa Holland is in Warsaw for us. And Lisa, those numbers just continue to rise, don't they? When I was there just over a week ago, there were still some places, there were still some flats, there were still some hotel rooms available. Are they pretty much all full now?
Yeah, so the Defence Secretary Ben Wallace is arriving here in a city today with so much on the plates of the polls. Absolutely, as you say, Jane, this is a city which is sort of packed with hundreds of thousands of refugees. At the same time as saying we'll take in the refugees, the Polish government also has to contend with the fact that it's got a war on its border and with Ukraine and Russia, and it's got its own border to defend the NATO eastern flank alongside the Russian border as well. So the Defence Secretary Ben Wallace here this morning, arriving in Warsaw. He was in Brussels yesterday meeting other NATO defence ministers. As you were discussing there, sort of from a tactical point of view, the question is what next to support the Ukrainians? We know that the short-range anti-tank weaponry, the missiles, which we understand have been provided by the British government, have been used to great effect to stall the advancing Russians. And in fact, as Ben Wallace was travelling here this morning, the Ministry of Defence was essentially saying that the Russian invasion, in their word, had largely stalled on all fronts. But at the same time, we do know that this heavy bombardment, the besiegement of cities from the air, continues. So the question is really what can be done to support the Ukrainians to that end. Lots of speculation. The Defence Secretary will announce a new air defence system to support the Ukrainians. The big issue here, though, is trying to calibrate what can be done by countries such as the UK and Poland to support the Ukrainians without antagonising the Russians, and that's what's being discussed here this morning.
Thanks very much. This is Sky News Today. Coming up, home at last. Emotional reunions for Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe and Anusha Ashuri with their families. Need to go.
I'm Inzamam Rashid and I'm Sky's North of England correspondent, telling stories from this culturally rich region I call home.
it's going to become very similar to other places and lose its unique qualities.
It's steeped in history.
If the Taliban found your family, what would happen?
I think they're just going to straight away execute them.
There are issues of racism in all levels of cricket.
I was on the balcony a couple of times. I was nearly gone.
Football is a joy to watch, and when people are disappointed, you can feel the hate.
I just felt physically sick, so I was like, that's really in my system.
We take you to the heart of the stories that shape our world. Even before the pandemic, GPs were pleading for help. Government expects more face-to-face contact with patients in return.
Men, they want to force you doing something which you don't want to do, just because you're homeless and you're looking for a warm place to sleep.
We give a voice to communities often unheard and unserved from a region with a distinct history and global impact.
Well, it's been a long and gruelling wait, but for the first time in several years, Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe and Anusha Ishuri stepped foot onto British soil overnight. The British Iranians have been held prisoner for years in Iran, but after long-running efforts by their families and the government, they've returned to the UK and their loved ones. Sky's Katie Barnfield reports.
This is the moment they were dreaming of. Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe and Anusha Ishuri, both held for years in Iran, walking off the plane and on to British soil again. Finally, they are home and they are safe. At RAF Bryce Norton, where they landed, an emotional reunion with their families. Nazanin with her husband Richard and cradling her daughter Gabriella.
Do I smell nice? I haven't having a shower.
Together again, and this time for good.
I've met the families, they're safe and well, people are in very, very good spirits. I think it's been a really difficult 48 hours, the expectation that they would be released, but we weren't sure and right until the last minute. So it's been very emotional, but also a really happy moment for the families.
It was at exactly 1:08 this morning that the plane carrying Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe and Anusha Ishuri touched down here at RAF Bryce Norton. They spent an hour inside with their families behind closed doors, talking and hugging, before leaving to spend the night in government accommodation. It was a journey that finally gave them their freedom from an unimaginable ordeal. Nazanin's nightmare began in 2016, when she was detained by Iranian security services as she tried to leave the airport in Tehran after a holiday, their hidden cameras capturing her shock. Accused of spying against the Iranian regime, she was held for years on charges she always denied and subjected to what her husband Richard said amounted to torture. It was his years of relentless campaigning that helped to secure her release, including a hunger strike outside the Foreign Office. Persistence that finally paid off as joyous photos emerged of Nazanin and Anusha grinning on the plane that was to bring them home, their relief palpable. Now the nightmare is over. They can finally look forward to life with their families together again. Katie Barnfield, Sky News.
Well, the Foreign Office Minister, James Cleverly, has been part of the negotiations to secure the hostages' release for many years. Earlier, he told Sky News why it took so long to repay the debt the UK owed Iran.
We had been looking at ways to settle the debt that we conceded that we owed. We owed this debt, we accepted that debt. Obviously, the sanctions position made it incredibly difficult. You cannot just write a cheque. It doesn't work like that. Now, the details of how we have done it, of course, as I say, have to remain confidential. But it's taken a huge amount of work to come up with a method of ensuring that money is for humanitarian purposes.
Well, Sky's Ashna Hurunag is in northwest London and the family home. And Ashna, they've not come back yet, have they? They're being given some time and some space away and some privacy at a private place.
Yeah, I think that's going to be much needed, Jane, after the ordeal and spending so much time apart. 6 years for Nazanin and for Ashori, 5 years away from his family, both of them detained and not allowed to leave the country after all this time, though, landing back on British soil in the early hours of this morning. Back in September, when Liz Truss was appointed Foreign Secretary, she said that this was going to be a priority to get these people home, and she succeeded. And we saw those amazing pictures in Katie's piece, both of those individuals stepping off that plane, giving a small wave to those that were there to meet them at RAF Brize Norton, Oxfordshire, before they then had some time with both their families, and they managed to talk to them, hug them. You can only imagine the relief that is consuming all of those family members. Nazanin's husband, Richard Ratcliffe, saying to us yesterday that it will take a lot of time to rebuild the years that have been lost, but also they're meeting them with diplomats from the Foreign Office. And as James cleverly mentioned this morning, that is the result, this release, of intense negotiations for many years behind closed doors. And we know that those negotiations really did go right up to the wire. It was only very late yesterday the Foreign Office were willing to actually say that they'd had this breakthrough and say that those two individuals, Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe and Anousheh Ashouri, were on board that flight because they knew that there was a high chance that those talks could have fallen through right up to the wire. It was only then, when they were actually out of Iranian airspace, that they could finally make that announcement, and the families came out to speak to the media and were incredibly relieved by what they saw. But there is, of course, one individual who does remain in Iran. That is Morad Tabaz. He is a British-Iranian individual. He has been released on furlough from prison, but he does remain in the country. And the UK government say that talks are ongoing and they will continue to put pressure on the Iranian government for his release too. So not quite a happy ending for his family yet. They don't have a timescale on when he might be able to come back home. But at least for the family of Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe and Mr. Ashouri, they today no doubt will be waking up feeling a huge sense of relief that they finally have their loved ones home.
Ashna Hurunag, thanks very much. You're watching Sky News. Coming up, major concern about Mariupol following the theatre attack. As peace talks continue, we're going to talk to a former senior NATO official.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
All over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about Sendwave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the
darkness.
The whole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and it is Starr Radio UK and the morning show.
You are good in the palace of peace. You are good in my pain or my gain. You give me double for all my trouble.
Well, hello, good morning, and welcome to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Today is 17th day of March, the year 2022, and the time now is 10:41 from the hearts of London, a Thursday edition of the morning show. And once again, let me say a massive welcome to the show. Playing in the background, something from Akase Brimpong says, he is good. From the Ghana dialect. You are good. I hope you're enjoying your day so far, so good. But whatever the situation is, one thing for sure, I want to assure you of the resilience of humanity. Because go through difficult times and challenging times that people might think that you will not be able to survive it. And lo and behold, by the time you say Jack, you survived it. So whatever it is, Keep on holding on.
You are good.
And thank you very much for tuning in once again. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
You give me double.
But I'm saying good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olayomi, Kojo D, Felix all the way in Aberdeen, Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, Mr. Malik Dramani Muhammad, wherever you are, good morning to you, sir. A long time no here. I hope you are doing very good and the family. And let me say a special good morning also to Mr. David Kluche, Dr. Martin, good morning. Great to you back, Mima Wachi. I hope you are doing very well, sir. And my brother Kwame, Charlie, a long time no see. I hope you are doing good too. But a special good morning and a belated happy birthday to Mr. Andy Aqua. It was your birthday yesterday. Yeah, I wished you, but I needed to come and wish you on air. Hope you had a very nice day. Regasu, rejoice. To our listeners, those of you across the globe, those of you in the US, those of you in Europe, those of you in those of you in America, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, and those of you on the African continent as well. Especially those of you in Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, and Liberia, where we have most of our listeners from. I salute you all. And a special one goes all the way to us, Moscow, to Tosino. Yes, our special envoy there. I salute you, sir. And a special good morning also to Ajani Ajala. Ajani, I hope you are doing very well. Once again, welcome to the show. If it's the first time of tuning in to listen to us on the Thursday edition of the morning show, this is how the program goes. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. Then after that, at 11 o'clock, I'll bring you updates from Nigeria. We continue from there and look at some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Ajani Ajala, morning to all of you in Libya. Ajani, I hope you are keeping safe and doing very, very well. Thank you very much, Ajani. Okay, so then we continue from there. At 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions if need be, if you want to share any take with us. However, if before then you want to, comment on any of the issues that is going on, the stories that we are touching, whatever it is, you can put it on our Facebook page, and I promise you, I'm gonna read that. You are good but when the lines are open, you can just hop on and add your voice to the discussions. Then at 1 o'clock exactly, we'll bring the program to a close. But as I say it all the time, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, if it's making the headlines, why not? We promise you, we're gonna touch on it. So once again, welcome to the show. Do me a massive favor, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Now, when it comes to the quote of the day, it says, if you are not succeeding, the enemy on your success is you and no one else. So what do you think you're doing that you are not succeeding? Are you working hard? Are you using all the necessary contacts and the knowledge that you've acquired? My trouble once you've got all that lined up, then I will tell you that now seek the face of God as well. Because those of you with faith, the good book says that it's the Lord who establishes our footsteps. Okay, so you do your best. That doesn't mean that you have to put your hands in your Valentine tie and just sit down and be waiting, looking upwards every day, wishing that things fall into your laps. No, it doesn't work that way. But you go out, crack on it, and I promise you that good things do happen. Some way, somehow. Someone's might happen today, tomorrow will be someone else's, and tomorrow next might be yours as well. Who knows? Nobody knows. Who thought that today people in Ukraine will be displaced? They all were thinking after the new year, they thought that, well, this is our year. Somebody was looking at this is an opportunity, but look at what has happened. And therefore, once you have life, there is hope. Do your best and leave the rest to God. All right then. Well, let's look at the weather. Yesterday I wasn't in the studio doing a few things around, and then I came out, and on the car I could see that this orangey skies, and then all around the area, the cars were all like had some dust. I was like, where did this come from? And there's some builders doing some work here. Because later on I found out that, well, it was sandstorm that was blowing from the north of Africa to us here. Well, but today is much better. There was rain over the afternoon, from yesterday afternoon till late in the night as well. But it didn't clear the dust, no. You know, I got home and I remember I put the water hose on my car just to clean that all the dust from it. But hey, that didn't even do. This morning I look at it, I said, okay then. But God is good. God is good. God is good all the time. He is good. So the weather says that, well, today will be dry with plenty of sunshine for most, but some patchy cloud will build in during the afternoon. A rather mild day with moderate southwesterly breeze. Tonight will continue dry and clear skies. However, areas of mist and fog will develop in places. A chilly night with easing winds. In my pain. Temperature is going to be 14 degrees. The lowest is going to be 4 degrees. Pollen level is going to be low, UV level is going to be low, and pollution is going to be low as well. Sunset 18:08 and sunrise for tomorrow morning is 06:11 hours. So that brings us to the end of the weather forecast. If you want to share with us what is happening in your area, feel free and share it with us. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bring the time now to 10:59. We're going to take a quick break, and once we come back, I bring you the travel update. It is Starr, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road.
This is Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated. I promise I'll born the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:50. And what is your travels like? On the underground this morning, I can tell you assuredly, apart from the Northern Line that's got park closures until mid-May, all the others have got good service. TFL Rail, DLR, London Trambling, London Overground, good service there as well. Now moving on straight to the riverbank this morning, apart from the Woolwich Ferry that's also got reduced service, all the others have got good service. So now moving on straight to the National Rail. On the National Rail this morning as well, Cross Country has got special service, Great Western Railway special service. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, and keep you navigated, I promise I won't. Moving on to the final segment of the travel update. The A10 has got closures, A316 closures, A4 closures, Central London Red Rose closures, and South Circular A205 serious delays. And as I will say all the time, well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to exactly 8 minutes to the top of the hour. It is now time for... Yes, Global Trotting. If it's making the rounds across the globe, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, as I say all the time, I'm gonna touch on it. But if you have any other stories you also want to share with us, feel free to do so. And I promise you, we're going to be looking into that. Okay, but let's start from the African front, and then we'll go into the UK, across the globe, and get to the UK as well. Let's do it that way. Why not? Okay, Mohammed's comment on Supreme Court ruling is setting the country on the path of civil war, Professor Stephen J. is saying. Is this comment setting the country on a path for civil war? Who want to fight who? Well, unless of course, government want to bulldoze its way through whatever thing that they are doing, not giving anybody the chance to comment or express their anger or whatever displease against anything the government is saying, so that it becomes an autocratic state. Is that what they want to do? Well, we're talking about democracy, and therefore somebody can comment on any issue. I mean, he did not comment, make any comment when the case was, or the hearing was going on. He made a comment after the court, the Supreme Court ruled, and therefore you cannot even hold him contempt or anything of the sort. Now he's made his statement. Now what do you think? But I'm going to be bringing you more on that front. Chairperson of the National Development Planning Commission, Professor Stephen J. has criticized former President John Mohammed's comment on the recent ruling by the Supreme Court involving the voting rights of the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. We'll be looking into those stories and a lot more coming your way from there. Women must get to the table by merit. Femi Asante Bediatio is saying, well, why should women be given just an opportunity? Oh, because they are women, so let's prop them up and get them there, or just to take the boxes. No, she is of the view that, well, women have to come to the table, but they have to come by merit. Okay. Now, teachers paying rent for government bungalows valid. That's what the Ghana Education Services are saying. Now, are the MPs paying rent? Are they? I mean, interesting. But we'll be coming into all that. Well, even when they live in their own residence, their own properties, where their own houses that they acquired, if they are living in there, they are still paid. They are still paid for that. So if the schools have got accommodation for teachers and they are living in there with the scanty pay that they get, if that is what they are getting, okay, to boost them up, to prop them up, to give them a bit of wind in their sails so that they can continue to be doing the good work that they are doing, is that the step that government has to take now? Well, we'll be coming to that in a moment, but don't you go away. Oliver Vamawo declares hunger strike as police refuses to release him. Now, court orders police to detain Oliver Vamawo until bail documents are verified. And NADMO staff arrested over 43,000 Ghana cedi salary theft. Yes, this and a lot more going to be coming your way. Why Babi must declare Fomena MP seat vacant? I say Dinketia explains. We'll bring you more on that front. Okay. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, let's move on to other stories making the rounds. When it comes to Nigeria, some of the stories that we're going to be looking at. Nigeria debt stock grows up to 39 trillion. Is it trillion? Okay. I'm going to be telling you more about that in a moment. 39, yes, 0.556 trillion naira. Now, APC chairmanship division depends as Abdulaziz Yari obtains nomination form. And then some other stories still from Nigeria. I'm going to be touching on how Russian bombs shattered theater sheltering civilians in Ukraine. That's some of the story that has been cut there as well. Obiano's wife goes gaga slash Bianca Ojukwu at Soludo inauguration. More will be coming from there. And Soludo takes charge as Anambra governor. We'll be bringing you more on that front. Well, when the women goes gaga. Okay, I didn't know when they go gaga, that means. Now, other stories. FBI files another charge against Hush Puppy over $400,000 fraud in prison. Well, the charges continue to come on. But what is happening to Abakari? Abakari, yes, we know that he's also facing a trial there as to whether he should be sent to the U.S. to go and face the full rigors of the law. This and a lot more going to be coming your way from Nigeria. But still in Africa, local slums authorities over deadly train accidents. That's in DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. And some other stories from the African front still making the rounds this morning. South Africa hailed by WTO over compromise on COVID vaccine production waivers. The World Trade Organization chief Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala on Wednesday highlighted the decisive progress made. Progress made by South Africa, the EU, and the US. There's more stories coming your way from there. And Gambia is free as Senegal launches attack against rebels. Which are the rebels? Are they Gambians as well? You know, at times it's interesting when we see all these things happening. And Rwanda silencing YouTubers with abusive legal framework. And war in Ukraine surge in commodity prices in Nigeria and other parts of the world. And they are looking at it from Africa's perspective. These are all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Now, is that mommy Nazanin home after 6 years ordeal in Iran? In emotional scenes, Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe, Anush Ashori are reunited with their families after years of detention. Well, one more that's a man wants. Maybe give her a cup of tea. What about that? Okay. A lot more going to be coming your way from the UK front as well. Long-term plan to tackle racial disparity in UK. The Inclusive Britain plan was developed in response to the Black Lives Matter protests in 2020. I'll be bringing you more on that front. What do you think there? And the UK introduces exhaustive online safety bill. Do you think that your kids are safe when they go online? Well, they said that they've introduced an exhaustive one. How is that going to work? Well, we're going to be looking at that. P&O cancels services and tells ships to stay in port. Now, cross-channel ferry operator cancels sailing ahead of company announcement, but says it isn't going bust. So what is happening to them? We'll be bringing you more on that front. Ocado sales hit as workers return to the office. The online grocer says its sales have fallen in recent months as people revert to pre-pandemic habits. And the Man United Pogba reveals burglary at his home. His home was burgled during his side's Champions League game against Atletico Madrid on Tuesday. So these are some of the stories making the rounds in the UK. Interestingly, on the business front, interest rates in the UK is going to be going up from the 0.5 to 0.75. Information coming through on that front when it comes to the economy. Now moving on to other parts of the world as well. Reports of survivors in the rubble of bombed Mariupol theater. Many people have survived after a basement shelter withstood Russian shelling, Ukrainian officials have said. And in other stories, Biden calls Putin a war criminal for the first time. The cuff remarks prompt Russia to call the comments unforgivable rhetoric. So what are they going to do about it? Okay, Zelensky invokes 9/11 in plea to U.S. Congress. Those are some of the stories. And Russia State TV hit by a stream of resignation. Marina Osvonikova protests highlighted a growing number of journalists leaving their jobs at the Kremlin-run TV channels. Now, what is going to happen there? It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. A lot more going to be coming your way. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. But let's go back to our music. And once we've had a bit of a cup of a sip of tea or any cold drink, whichever it is, because wherever you are, it depends on if you are in the temperate area, you want something cold to cool you down. If you are in the cold areas, now you want something hot to keep you warm. So what about that? Whatever it is appropriate in your area, make sure that you get your hands on it. And let's continue with the show. Akasa it says, hey, he is good. Who is good? God is good. The rest of the music, I'm going to bring you updates from Nigeria. Mr. Olayomi Koike is on a mission where tomorrow is going to be bringing you all the details of it. So I will be bringing you the update from Nigeria. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
You are good in the good and the bad. You are good when I'm happy or sad. Good in my trials, good in my triumph. You are good in the palace of peace. You are good in my pain.
This is Starr Radio UK.
All around the world.
You
broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
Radio for the people, live. Starr Radio. Nobody.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now exactly to 12 minutes past the top of the hour. Now, let's go to the details of some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria, as I did say earlier on. Well, interestingly, one of the top stories making the rounds in Nigeria is a motorbike gunmen in Nigeria have killed 6 police officers guarding a tomato processing factory. A civilian who also A civilian was also killed in the attack in the northwestern state of Kebbi. A police spokesperson said the attackers wanted to kidnap foreign nationals working at the factory. However, they were evacuated safely. The region is grappling with armed motorbike gangs known locally as bandits who frequently steal animals, kidnap for ransom, and kill those who confront them. They are sophisticated networks of criminals who operate across the large swaths of territory. Now, it goes on further to say it has led communities to form local vigilante groups to try and defend villages and towns from the attack. But this time around, they have gone in there to just try to kidnap the foreign workers there, the expatriates. Now, in a separate raid on Tuesday in the neighboring state of Niger, 3 police officers and 4 vigilantes were killed in the village of Nasco. These kind of attacks have continued across northern Nigeria despite the security forces bombarding the gangs' forest hideouts. Last week, 19 security personnel, including soldiers and policemen, as well as more than 60 vigilantes, were killed. The violence has forced hundreds of thousands of people to flee to their homes, some crossing over the border to other country, and this time around Niger. Well, it is all the stories pertaining to what do you call them, these bandits. But I know that the federal government has raised the whole thing from bandits now to what do you call them, terrorists. So why are they still referring to them as bandits? Well, maybe they've not gotten to that place yet. But what should be done to bandits, or what should be done to terrorists? As I did ask Mr. Olayomi the other time, we'll be looking more into some of those stories. Nigeria hold meeting on security and defense cooperation with China, and then ex-IPOP deputy leader attacks former Mbaka over Nnamdi Kanu. I'm going to bring you more details about all these stories from the updates from Nigeria. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. Okay, so Nigeria's debt stock has grown to 39.556 trillion naira. Now, Nigeria's total debt stock as at December 2021 stood at 39.556 trillion. Director General of the Debt Management Office, Miss Patience Oniha, made a disclosure at a media interaction on Nigeria's debt levels at the end of 2021. Oniha said other arms of government are also responsible for Nigeria's growing debt. According to her, it is not only the president and the Minister of Finance that endorse borrowing. Well, so the president and the Minister of Finance endorses some, and some other people can also approve some. Interesting. The National Assembly passes the budget, which contains how much will be borrowed after budget defense and public hearings. It goes on further to say, speaking on the country's ballooning debt profile, Oniha stated that borrowing came from the budget. The figures didn't just happen. They came from many years of consecutive borrowing authorized by existing laws. She also disclosed that Nigeria's debt to GDP is now 22.47%, which is within the 40% threshold allowed by the World Bank. Well, so if it's allowed by the World Bank and it's still impacting the economy negatively, it is okay. We'll continue to borrow. That is what it seems to be saying. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Updates from Nigeria. Don't you worry, we'll be joining Mr. Frank Davis pretty soon. But let me just bring you more on that front. The APC chairmanship division depends as Abdulaziz Yari obtains nomination form. Who is Abdulaziz Yari? The race for the national chairman position of the ruling All Progressive Congress is becoming more competitive as 5 aspirants have thrown their hats into the ring so far. the former governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar, on Wednesday obtained a nomination form to contest the APC national chairman position in the forthcoming national convention of the party. The political party has fixed March the 26th for the convention after months of dilly-dallying. Now, Abdullahi Adamu, who has said to have been endorsed by President Muhammadu Buhari and Senator Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, have since joined the race for the national chairman of the APC. Both Adamu and Al-Makura are former governors of Nasarawa State. Now, Mustafa Saliu, a former deputy national chairman of the defunct Congress for Progressive Change, that is CPC, and the former governor of Borno State, Senator Ali Modu Sharif, have joined the race too. However, a former Nigerian Minister of Information and Chairman, National Broadcasting Commission, Honorable Ikra Aliu Bilbis, who received the nomination form on behalf of the former Zamfara State Governor, said the action was to further demonstrate Yari's determination to realize his dream of salvaging the party. That means that the party is on the collision course or in a point of dissolution. Now, he said the aspiration of the former governor was further fueled by the fact that he has been a grassroots party man who rose through the ranks to become secretary and chairman of the national party in his state, as well as national financial secretary, respectively. He said, if competence, capacity, and capability to deliver at any given situation are ingredients for a successful leadership, APC at the national levels needs Yari as its national chairman at this point in time. This is all coming your way from where? Starr Radio UK, updates from Nigeria. Now, Hush Puppy commits 400,000 fraud in U.S. prison as FBI files new charges. Did he commit those frauds whilst he was in prison or what? Now, detained internet fraudster Ramon Abbas, aka Hush Puppy, may spend more years in jail as the Federal Bureau of Investigation reportedly filed another charge against him recently, claiming that he perpetrated another $400,000 internet scam between January to March 2022. I like this man. Even in prison, he can still operate. What about that? We need him. I think we need him in Ghana. We really need him. We'll be talking more about his successes. Well, but Politics Nigeria reports that upon his arrival in the United States on July 3, 2020, after his arrest in Dubai, where he lives, he was accused of conspiring to launder hundreds of millions of dollars. New evidence was submitted to the United States District Court of California on March 16, 2022. In a document stating that Hush Puppy allegedly engaged in acquisition and washing of economic impact payment debit cards obtained unlawfully from stolen data of U.S. individuals and residents. Abbas is also accused of committing fraud in Nigeria, as he also is wanted by Nigerian Financial Crime Police and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC. On the 28th of July 2021, Hush Puppy pleaded guilty to money laundering and also exposed a deputy commissioner of police, DCP, in Nigeria, Abakari, as an accomplice in his $1.1 million scam deal. Now, born in Lagos, Nigeria in 1982, Hush Puppy had a reputation as a Yahoo boy, a local name for cyber criminal. Well, a lot more going to be coming your way, but let's take a quick commercial break and we come your way. Stay tuned. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business, but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11:26, and I've got with me Mr. Frank Davids. And let me say, Frank, good morning to you.
Archie, good morning, and good morning to our listeners, our viewers, wherever they might be. Fellas, good morning. Kofi Ale, good morning. Chief, good morning. Francis, good morning. And yeah, Alessandra.
Okay. So Sandra, we acknowledge you, so behave yourself.
To me. All the Sandras.
Okay, wonderful. I mean, some good news for the people in the UK, especially the Radcliffe family and the other gentlemen who were released yesterday. Just a brief comment on that.
Actually, again, controversial. Frank will raise a bit of questions. Until yesterday, how many people heard about the second one?
No, nobody knew about. But again,
why?
Yeah, because their family wasn't making too much noise like Mr. Radcliffe was.
That gives a bit of room for us to ponder and ask questions. Was Radcliffe state sponsored to go and train journalists over there to destabilize Iran, as was suggested by Boris Johnson, then as a foreign minister? Was that why there was so much sound clips, sound bites, campaign around her case? Yes, I commend the husband for the effort, but there's more to it than from my point of view.
Yeah.
But the most important thing today is that a family have been reunited.
Yeah, yeah.
They've been reunited, and the other one in Lewisham, they've also been reunited.
Yeah.
There's a third one who has not.
Yeah, they say he's on fellow. I don't understand that fellow.
Yeah, that they've released him,
but
he cannot fly out for now. Actually, it raises questions about the position of some of these our West fathers, so to call them, because Iran yesterday made it clear that without the payment they wouldn't have allowed this boat to fly out.
Yeah.
So from 1979 thereabout, why has Britain refused to pay those debts? Could they have paid this earlier so that these people would have enjoyed their life 5 years, 6 years with their families? What changed? Are we looking at Russia, the need for oil, and therefore we need to start softening our
stance with them, so
that we do not see a Russia-Iran alliance against them? I mean, a lot of politics.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, all I have to do for everything that's going on, we're going to ask more questions, because questions needs to be asked. As to why certain decisions were taken at certain times, because we know what comes to the public is not entirely
no. They're sketchy. They just
a lot of things goes behind the scene. Therefore, we need to ask questions to be able to start thinking, could this be a possibility? Are you getting me? So for me, yes, the lady is back, but I think Boris Johnson spoke the truth at that inquiry where he said she was just there to train journalists. Because we know that's exactly what happened in Hong Kong. We know exactly what happened, attempted coup in Cuba. We know it was the same thing. And we know, as we speak now, Russian media has also been infiltrated to some extent.
That is your take.
Take on that. We know. So, and we know at every point in time, whether you are in the West, you are in the, I mean,
everybody tries to infiltrate
Nigeria.
Somebody,
I mean, the same thing. I mean, they believe in the power of the media. Ghana. I mean, all the African countries, they are infiltrated anyway. But the question is, look, we are going. We don't know where we're going. So, whichever direction, once the steps are being taken,
just climb it,
whether they are backwards, sideways, forward. Once we pretend to be moving our bodies, we think we are moving forward. You know.
Well, listeners, a bit on the release of this prisoners in Iran. Well, we'll be coming to that in a moment. Frank was saying that, well, there are more questions that needs to be asked, and we need answers for that, because it's not like everything that we are seeing is the actual thing that is behind the scenes. There could be lots going on. But what do you think? You can put your comments there.
Actually, that said, I think credit must be given to the husband.
Oh yeah.
Credit must be given to Radcliffe, Mr. Radcliffe. I mean, he did what every human being has to do for. I mean, what they believe in, who they love, and everything. And I think if there's any demonstration of love for someone, I think
he's shown it.
He's shown it, and my heart, I done my heart out for him. He's done what every man should be doing when they find themselves in that. And I again will raise a question. The question I asked, why have we've not heard about the other family? Is it because, I mean, they have not taken interest in campaigning, or what? I mean,
it was yesterday that I found out that the man who came with I've forgotten his name. Who came with Nazari, their family were also protesting, but they had a placard saying that, why wouldn't you talk to us, Prime Minister? Why wouldn't you talk to us? I was like, look at the way this man fasted and did everything. He was going up and down, making so much noise.
And then you again would have to For me, some of these campaigns is something that people will have to now study. There are two notable issues. Campaign that for me has gladdened my heart a lot. Although I might have reservation about, the officialdom and how they've handled them, I still think that the individuals involved did. One was, what they call it, the lady who was kidnapped in Portugal. That young lady that we've not.
Okay.
You remember?
Yeah.
The parents did a lot, and up to now the case is still not closed. Are you getting me? The way they waged that campaign, trying to get their daughter back, for me is something that I commend. We know a lot of people have gone missing. Sometimes we just talk about it. They talk about it and they go back. Officialdom talk about. But you see, Radcliffe said something when he was asked about trusting the officialdom. He made a comment that seemed to suggest that, look, sometimes positive defiance must be followed. He said if he had followed
the protocol that they were
telling him to follow, this would have gone anywhere. So that might even suggest that the others might be following the protocol, say nothing, hear nothing. Officialdom is handling it. Meanwhile, they are doing nothing. Are you getting me? He has to, basically ignore those officialdom advice and go all out. Are you getting me? So it's not everything that the big brother says that we must follow. Some are not good for our own health.
Well, I said some are not good for our own health. But I was pondering over it the whole of yesterday. I said, so had it been that it's a black man from Africa somewhere, Ghanaian, British Ghanaian president, he's been like in Nigeria, where we have Nnamdi Kanu, who is in the hands of the Nigerians. He is a British Nigerian.
Are the family protesting?
Are they well, that is
have you seen the family protesting? That's the question, man. Have you seen the family? Organizing video programs, going campaign. I've not seen it. They might be doing it. We know. Commentators on Facebook will say it, but the family over here,
what are they doing about it? Are they campaigning at the Nigerian High Commission?
We need to be able to question what they are doing. And for me, if anything is to be learned from this, I think Mr. Radcliffe should be a professor of how to campaign for a cause you believe in. He should be gonna give you an ordinary doctorate degree for that. He did what a lot of people wouldn't do. And one thing that I said, I pick up from this is that officialdom advice sometimes
you have to ignore it. Just get on with
poison.
Well, listeners, we'll be looking into that story because some people have been asking the question. So, with such a relationship, somebody who has been incarcerated for 6 years, emotionally, the mind and psychological thing that she's going through, she might not be. We've seen people who have lost their child, and because of that, the next moment the marriage has collapsed. We have Stephen Lawrence's parents. That's what happened because that was going on so much. The pain or the psychological stress that people are going through causes their. But do you think that maybe this woman should think that, look, but for my husband, I wouldn't have been here, and whatever, I have to tolerate it.
And the other question is, if we're to follow what Boris Johnson said, which for me I see as more truthful than any other explanation that is being given. The question will ask, was the husband directly involved in actually getting her on the job? If the husband was directly involved in getting her to the job, then it might help explain the extent to which
why he has to go that
because he now feels personally responsible and personally guilty for leading her into are you getting so a lot of questions will also have to be asked.
Well, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. We say it all the time, you can't get it nowhere. Just on this platform you can get that. So continue to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. I am Archie with Mr. Frank Davis here. Okay, now let's come back to the Nigeria story updates that we were given. And as I said, Mr. Olayomi is on an errand, and tomorrow, God willing, he's going to bring you updates on that. Well, is the president still here? When is he leaving? We'll bring you more on that tomorrow. But first of all, let's talk about Nigeria's debt that is gone to 39 trillion. And the what do you call her? The Nigeria, what do you call it? Director General of the Debt Management Office, Ms. Patient Oniha, has come to say that well, you know what? It's nothing bad. It's not that we deliberately just want to go on borrowing and stuff like that. But they are the laws and the system is such that apart from government or the president approving some loans, the Congress and all them also go on to approve that. Do you think that's a good excuse for us to get to that?
I mean, what he's saying makes no sense. It's nonsense. I mean, let's be straightforward. Because at the end of the day, if those debts are linked to sovereign guarantees, whether Congress approve it or whatever, it is the government in power that issues.
That's right.
I understand that, yes, it is not this government that has borrowed all those monies. At the end of the day, Nigerian president or the cabinet will have to approve everything. I mean, they basically have to approve. Even if those bills go to Senate and other things, at the end of the day, the cabinet still has to approve the issue of sovereign guarantee. So, I mean, that is neither here nor there. Secondly, if the figures that are being chunked out are supposed to be believed, I don't think that a Nigerian should worry. 23%. I mean, I look at it. That's if the GDP that given
22.47, that's called it 23.
I mean, it's quite a very minimal. The only question here is that GDP, what contributes to that GDP?
Okay.
Because if the oil sector that also is captured in that GDP, and a chunk of it
goes outside,
and we are not looking at gross national production, but we are looking at gross production itself, GDP itself, gross domestic production. We are having a problem because there's a bit of distortion over there. That exactly what we have, and that's the situation we have in Ghana, because they've all been using GDP. Well, a chunk of that money is actually not owned by Ghanaians. Oil prices are going up now. GDP are going to go up because the oil companies are going to be accounting for more. A lot of people are chasing gold now because they are thinking the economy is going to go down, and therefore they want to store their assets in gold, or their money in gold. A lot of Russians are chasing gold now. A lot of Chinese are chasing more gold now to store their money in gold. Therefore, gold prices have started going up. Okay. What is going to happen is, if you have a mining sector that produces a lot of gold, your GDP is going to go up. That is if captured properly. Now, you coming to tell us that your GDP has gone up, but the fact is that you do not control that industry. Newmont, Anglo Gold, Ashanti Gold, and all those things, we do not control that. We only have a little bit of percentages. So Nigerians should not be worried about that. But actually, debt levels are themselves not a problem. In this country, we're almost getting to 100% of our GDP. Now, you see, nobody is complaining about that. You recall in 2011, 2010, when Labour lost power. When conservatives came in, they make case about the debt level. Labour tried to explain that a lot of it went to this youth employment and other modernization of hospital and that stuff. Actually, if you look at how much the government spent on this coronavirus,
oh gosh,
all that contributed to debt levels. And people understand that, and therefore they are not complaining so much about the debt level. They are looking at ways to tax those who are reaping the windfall to be able to limit it. But in Nigeria, in Africa, most of these countries, in Ghana, when we talk about those debt levels, we're talking about 23 point something percent of GDP. What has been borrowed? Which sectors has it gone to? How has it profited the people? How has the distribution been? And that is a concern. So if you go to Ghana, for instance, and you take how much has been borrowed over the last few years, and you realize that you have no hospital, you have no road, you have no tap water, you have nothing substantial to show that, yes, we've
borrowed this
accumulated.
and it's improved in this particular.
Archie, I wouldn't have a problem with Nigeria if they borrow up. If they decide today that look, we're going to borrow an additional equivalent of 10% or 50% of our GDP, and that money we're going to use a Marshall Plan. All roads in Nigeria will be fixed. Electricity will never be a problem. Water will never be a problem. Sewage and everything. Hospitals that we are going to start. This is a 10 years Marshall Plan. That every village, every road, every street will properly be transformed. I have no problem with that. You know why? Because the investment in itself will repay itself over time.
Of course.
But when you have borrowings, figures being chunked out that we borrow this much, but you see, you're coming from Faunchinibe to Brodiacho to Ikeja, you've been plying a rough road that when you buy, you are banned. Basically, the road actually restricts you from buying a white shirt.
Yeah.
Because when you go to buy any shop, you're gonna work out the economics. Do I buy a white shirt and wash it anytime I wear it, or I buy something that looks brown, that even if dust is in it,
you don't see it.
I don't see it, but I inhale it.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? So basically, your road network, the dust, the potholes are now transforming into manholes, right? The dust that used to a little bit are now transforming in storms. That when you ply the road, before you come on, your hair and everything is
like what we saw yesterday.
Are you getting me? Then you are told again that your debt level, that as a young man, because of government decision, you are now owing $5,000.
Yeah.
Your children will be owing 10,000, and you ask yourself,
how have I benefited from this?
Are you getting me? At least when we talk of debt level in this country, we can point to a fact that look, all these PCR tests that people were doing for free, it's your cost.
Yeah.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
But in our part of the world, we don't. So show us what we've used the borrowed money from. And that's where we find them wanting. That is where the anger will come in. That's the only anger Nigerians should be worried about. That what is this money being used for? There's no point, there's no sense. Have you seen in this country that they say they've gone for loan to go and buy SUVs for their ministers?
For what? You guys on the tram, on the train, and let's go.
Let's take a classic example. Ukraine, it's an attack. The president of Estonia, Poland, and Czech were going to show their solidarity.
They all hopped on the train. They all came together.
You know what will have happened if Buhari
you fly his jet, on his jet, everybody is showing their jet.
Are you getting me? So the way we use the borrowed resources is, for me, where we should be looking at. And so far, the governments all over the over time have demonstrated incompetence, and not even incompetence, a willful ability to steal. So their purpose of borrowing is to inflate projects, give those contracts to their I watched something, actually it's funny, a road construction that was going on somewhere in Ghana, and whether the graph or the person was using their hands to spread the graph. I'll send you the video.
Let's course.
I mean, these are political contractors. I mean, they've just
they don't even have spade. Use their hand to spread it. Actually,
let's continue.
well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria as well. Well, what do you think about that? Maybe you think that what we are talking about, the cost, the borrowing in Nigeria, or their debt rate, is okay or it's not okay. You think that, well, we cannot see anything for that. They cannot show anything forth for that. Feel free, put it on our Facebook page, and I promise you, we're going to be reading that. By the Starr Radio UK, let's quickly touch on a couple of stories, and then we can bring the update from Nigeria to a close. And this time round, Hush Puppy. Now, interesting. This man, now when I see people who are like that, though they are criminals, but I see, I just wonder how they are able to use what they have to actually trick people, get whatever they want. I mean, get behind the scenes and do also. Now, this man is in prison.
This man should be employed as a good sales director of a very a firm that is looking to expand.
Yeah.
Because the ability to be able to convince people to basically open up and give you their details is an art. It's a craft.
Yeah.
That's not everyone who has. There are good people who are good in sales. And that brings me out. Yes, a criminal offense that he's committed. I've always been in a position that sometimes when people commit crime, we must look at, can we basically benefit from what they've done, or can we use them to benefit the society? And a classic example is the real story about Frank. I mean, catch me if you can.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a story, and it's a true story, that someone was so expert in faking checks that the FBI couldn't do anything but to rope him in to be able to help them detect this hush puppy. Now, I believe if he's to help a small niche of team, I'm not saying allow him to go free.
No.
But he should. How do you do it? We should be able to learn from that, and then we'll be able to. It's just like virus. People who develop antivirus will tell you that sometimes companies even come to them, hack our systems, test it. That's test resistance, stress resistance. They want to see how. So can we start using these people? But for me, I'm so amazed that even in prison,
he managed to rake in 400,000.
And that's another problem when you are in advanced countries prisons.
Yeah,
because you're giving digital guardian. If it were Nigerian prisons,
tell me unless you sit on the broom.
If the US authorities do not want trouble, they should take him to Nigeria to go and serve his sentence.
Oh, of course. He can even there.
Because over there, the Bangari will show him
the inmates will also the inmates, they have people who are also who want something like that. They just tap on him. I mean, just have us to do that.
But most of them do not have access to the free digital devices that we do have. You are supplying. Here you go to prison, you are giving a laptop. You are giving all those kind of stuff, all right?
Tell him in your room.
So if you lock him up and he has access to internet, access to all digital, what do you expect him to do when that is what he's learned to do? I mean, that is his specialty. What do you expect him to do? He's not a songwriter. You didn't give him Bible. You didn't give him Quran to be able to come out as a pastor or an imam. No, you give him a laptop, ask him, lock him up. He's even no girlfriend to even take more of his time. So he has more concentration to infiltrate more.
Yeah, he knows that I'm here for what 10 years. Let me just use my time profitably. Well, listeners, interested. Well, one final story from Nigeria. Now, when it comes to the IPOB group, now it seems that they have a disfronted a breakup front, this fragmented front, and therefore I'm thinking that this is going to cause them problem because it's like when countries are fighting for independence and they are all together and they say we want this, we want this. Then at a point, infiltration takes place again, and then you see that the front breaks down, and then factions, and they don't want to talk to you, or you let people who will do your bidding.
And that is what every smart government should be doing in the first place. Sometimes even this Ododowa issue, you need to test that by infiltrating them, recruiting people from within, and basically spying on them, breaking away. I mean, those are some of the ways you can, cleverly collapse some of these agitation. So I have no doubt at all about what is going, that probably government might be involved. Again, you see, aspirations within a group might differ. Yet we want an Yoruba state, we want what they call an Igbo state. But how do we want to get there? I mean, you cited an example of the independent movements. When you take Ghana, for instance, those who wanted independence now, and then those who wanted in the foreseeable and the nearer future, to a point where some of them had to even travel over here to the Queen to beg the Queen that do not allow us to go independent. Continue to be our Lord, Savior, and our provider in Ghana.
Take from us
until you are 97, and then you can let us go. Some people say no, we want it now, and obviously those who wanted it now won. But you will not get situations where those who want it now always win. As a people, for me, divided front again gives an opportunity for the leadership to know that it is not everyone that is on their side.
Yeah, for that.
It is not
For
everyone that is on their side. You then have to regroup. Do we really want to do this, and what are we doing it for, and who are we doing it for? So those questions need to be asked. But every movement that is set up to achieve, I mean, Ghana, talking of is a country, they're a bit of split.
Yeah,
people have emotions, people have their days, and people get influenced. So I mean, those are part of, it's a test for them. Let's see how they will stand it.
Okay, well, listeners, this is where we bring the updates from Nigeria to close. But tomorrow, I promise you, Yomi will be joining us to bring you more on that front. But if you have any comments pertaining to anything happening in your backyard, as Ajani, they say he's listening to us from Libya. Ajani, good afternoon once
I
again.
hope he's safe in Libya.
Yeah, Ajani, we hope that you are safe. From time to time, you can be posting some of the issues that is going on there. Everything that has to be made known to the public, and we promise you we will touch that and acknowledge you.
We're actually be interested in knowing the migrant situation, whether we still have this kind of killings and other things. I mean, slave markets that we do. Have you heard anything about the end? Do you still have a lot of our brothers and sisters contacting you that they want to walk that journey? And if you also, how did you get there? Did you take one of those journeys? We would like to know a little bit more about what is happening back in Libya.
Yeah. Okay, listeners, Starr Radio UK. Let's take a quick break. We come back. We'll be looking at some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. As I said, in Ghana, well. We have the what do you call him? Professor Stephen J. saying that, Ghana is on a path of a civil war. Why? Because of a statement that the former president made pertaining to the Supreme Court's ruling. We'll be coming to that. Now, he didn't say anything while the case was going on for you to say it was contempt of court. Now, this is a ruling. So after the ruling, everybody has a right to share what he or she thinks. The president did say what he thinks about it. Now, the former president is saying that this is what I think about it, and everything that, is on a course of civil war for the path of civil war for the country. What do you think? We'll be coming to that in a moment. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and Inter, you are not sure? Well, Lamb shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination, Inter. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
in your car,
At work,
at home.
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Is now gone 2 minutes to the top of the hour. Let me announce the lines open. Call it almost a minute to the top of the hour. So if you want to join in the conversation, 0208-133-2257 or 58, 0208-133-2257 or 58. Now, if you are in the US, Canada, the Caribbean area, South America, yeah? Okay, it's 001-718-303-2737, 001-718-303-2737. Text or WhatsApp at 075-3966-1744, 075-3966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. Get your dials on and continue to listen to us on Starr Radio UK. With me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis, I'm Archie. Now let's move on to some of the other stories that is making the rounds. But let's start from, I want to start from Africa now and come to this part of the world. Virtually, we've touched on what is happening here. Chairperson of the National Development Planning Commission, Professor Stephen Ajay, has criticized former President John Mahama's comments on the recent ruling by the Supreme Court involving the voting rights of the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. Now, speaking this yesterday, he stated that personalities like Mr. Mahama and President Akufo-Addo are influential figures whose postures on issues can impact on the rest of the populace. Now, according to him, based on their influence, they must refrain from certain acts that can spell mayhem for the country. On that note, the former board chairman of the Ghana Revenue Authority stated that Mr. Mahama's comment on the recent ruling by the Apex Court was in bad taste, adding that his comments could set the country on a path of civil war. In his view, the comments by the 2020 NDC flag bearer cannot be casually dismissed as critique of the judiciary. I'm trying to see whether I can get Mr. Mahama's statement, but whilst we are going on, okay, because of that, this means if the country should share this amount across the country. Oh, sorry, I think I've jumped a lot. Okay, listen, just bear with me. Okay. It goes over to say leadership is motivating others. Akufo-Addo, with all his intelligence and he's one of the brilliant people. He's one of the 30 million Ghanaians. But his actions and that goes for Mahama. He must watch what he says, because there are leaders whose behavior and words have such gargantuan impact. For example, you cannot be a person of the stature of Mahama and say what he said. And I wouldn't like to repeat it about a Supreme Court judge, because what you're doing is this: you're setting the country on the course of civil war. Because wherever there has been a civil war, there must be lists of confidence in the former system. I wouldn't like to repeat it. I think the words which were used should never come from the mouth of an ex-president, he stated. Let me leave it there.
Archie.
Now,
Archie.
Yes. What did Mahama say in the first place?
Mahama tweeted last week on Thursday, week today, and I quote: "If deputy speakers because they are members of parliament can vote while presiding as speaker, they could as well be able to participate in any debate on the floor over which they are presiding. This is absurdity, which the Supreme Court now I'm not sure people who are saying this have actually taken to time to read constitution of the thing now, but there's one that said, the headline said, look, Supreme Court delivered language, say, well, former president says ruling shocking but not surprising. I mean, what has Mahama said differently from others? I mean, the man who was talking is just playing mere politics. I mean, we understand it's politics that he's doing. Me sitting here, I do not agree with what the Supreme Court said.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But because I am not an ex-president, I can talk. What shows that when I become an ex-president, my rights to express my views have been mortgaged or have been taken away from me. In any case, why didn't he talk about the comments made by the president himself? President appoints a unanimous 7 that decided on a case that is in bad taste, that nowhere in this world is such practiced. The president went ahead to basically tell people that no one is above the law. Everybody, that even if it is rubbish that is coming from the Supreme Court, because they are clothed with powers to interpret the Constitution, we must accept it as that. But the same president did not admit that the same courts passed judgment that Gregory Afoko should be granted bail, and that his appointees, including the security, are not above the law until date.
They've not granted him bail.
His administration has grossly disrespected the decisions of the judiciary to free that. Why is he not talking about it? In any case, Archie, in my view, I don't see why the president, former president, he didn't cite anybody. He said, look, he's not surprised about this, because if you watch decisions that have been taken, one, your birth certificate, that the president himself has appointed a registrar for deaths and births, right? If the birth certificates are useless, why should we even have to wasting money on a whole department to register birth certificates? Now, what's the essence? If we know the birth certificates are as useless as the Supreme Court want to believe, why should we be wasting money staffing a whole department
to be issuing
from the top level, the Accra, all the way to the district levels, paying people, civil servants, calling them, officers of death and birth department? What for? Because the Supreme Court said, look, it's useless. You don't need it anyway. All you need is a Ghana. You don't need it. So why are we wasting money on it when we need money? So in my view, Archie, look, Supreme Court, yes, they can make a decision, but we know most of those decisions are political, are politically influenced. I mean, you have a Supreme Court that can ignore our Constitution and go and take a foreign dictionary and base it, and you expect that people should not be free to comment on that. If you have said, well, I'll give him benefit of that, well, both Mahama and Akufo-Addo shouldn't have commented, but you cannot pick that Mahama's comment are basically, let me put it in my own word, treasonable. That they are calling for civil. Who is civil between who and who? Civil between who and who? Are Mahama's comment more dangerous than a member of parliament who called for people to pick arms and kill other tribes? What
happened to the president? Nothing.
Where was he? These are hypocrites. Seriously, hypocrites. These are political animals that sometimes you do not want to. Yes, if you tell them not to talk, you also infringing on their rights. But they must also know that we also have the right to respond to some of these things. I'm not saying whatever Mahama has done or what is not, but at the end of the day, a judgment has been passed. People have opinion. The Constitution is so basic. The way they've written is the basic ABC, everyday English. Yeah, that's how the Constitution is written.
Yeah. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. The lines are open, as I said. I've got Kojo on, and I've got Mr. Kofi Ali as well. But so let me just say, Good morning to you, Kojo. Oh, good afternoon. My apologies.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Whichever. I think people somewhere may have been good morning. So,
Yes.
it's all right for them.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon to every listener. Yeah.
Yes. Hope you are doing very well.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay, good. Now let's go to Kofi as well. Kofi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you. I hope you are doing well as well.
Thank you for saying good morning to us. It means we are not fighting. There are important issues as adults and as responsible people. We need to discuss it and discuss sensibly.
Mm-hmm.
That is why you started by saying good morning.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't say good war,
Yeah.
good fight, bad money. We are not in Ukraine. We are talking about Ghana.
Okay.
So, fire on, and I'm listening to you. I have a very critical attention to our mind.
Okay.
Do your moderation, and I'm listening.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Let's go to Kojo first, because Kojo first called in. So yes, Kojo. Yeah.
I think I did say after the ruling that after the ruling, just a layman who I'll put myself in the shoes of a layman who hasn't got any legal background.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it that way. I mean, looking at the verdict, if the judges say, which was my point then, that if the judges made a ruling that the deputy speakers can vote, then it simply also means that the speaker can vote.
Of course.
If the deputy speakers, while they sit, so let me clarify, while they sit in the speaker's chair
Mm-hmm.
and they can vote, then nothing stops
The speaker himself
also sitting in the speaker's chair to vote. And I think I did say that there is nowhere that I've seen that precedent where someone supposed to be the referee is also kicking the ball with the against the opposing team. Never seen that before, but here we are. The judges have made the ruling. And going back to what we think Mahama said, whether it's a declaration of civil war, I think it's just complete rubbish. He didn't declare any civil war. He didn't never talk about even war or anything. He didn't even talk about conflict. There was nothing in that speech he made that suggests that. So again, these are people, like we always say, they are people who are always meddling and toiling with people's mentality and toiling with the people's sentiments and saying that, what he said is declaring civil war. He said nothing. I mean, he drew the same conclusion that most people would have also arrived at, that if the deputy speaker, acting as a speaker, can vote, then the speaker too can vote. I think that is that's the conclusion most people have arrived at.
Yeah.
And he just echoed back what the people have said. So I'm not sure whether that amounts to declaration of a civil war. I don't know what he meant by that. I mean, if the judicial are meant to be independent, let them be independent. If Parliament is meant to be independent, let it be independent. But however, if there is a ruling that the deputy speaker acting as a speaker can vote, then it presupposes that anybody who sits in the speaker's chair should have the opportunity also to vote.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Good.
So maybe that is where I will leave it. So now, if we even have Adjoa Safo sitting in a chair as the speaker, she can vote.
Yeah, of course.
Kojo,
let me ask one question before you make that.
A quick one on that.
The speaker, did he stand for election?
No, that is the difference over here.
Okay, because so that's the clarity that I wanted.
If you look at the Constitution, Article 109, it talks about people's representation.
Okay.
The deputy speakers are representing constituencies.
Okay.
Now, but you go further. When you look at 102 and 104, it talks about the role of who is presiding.
Okay.
Now, the only way out of this is to be able to say that both the speaker and the deputy speakers cannot or must not be coming from amongst the MPs. If you do that, they don't have voting rights.
Okay.
Now the speaker now cannot vote because those who are mandated to vote must be elected representatives.
Okay.
And the speaker is not an elected representative. He does not represent any constituency.
Okay.
That is what you're looking at. So they just told, they just told one line.
Yeah, I understand that, and I think the last discussion we had after the voting, I did say that the speaker doesn't represent any constituency.
Okay.
So that is why he cannot vote. But my interjection here is not the current speaker or the speaker elected for the House. But my point that I want to make, if anybody acts as a speaker, right, and can vote, then the speaker, the Constitution bars the speaker from being an elected representative. So would that be fair or not fair? Look, so if I'm acting for somebody, by virtue that I'm playing two roles, I become an elected representative, and at the same time I become a speaker, that has given me a privilege over the speaker. So
that's it.
Why can't the speaker also be allowed by the Constitution? So then it's a constitutional
it's a constitutional thing. I think that is why we all disagree with this. That's why we all disagree with this. Because once you become a speaker, once you become a deputy speaker, you are no longer acting as the MP, but you are now becoming, you have some, you are clothed with some powers that an ordinary MP on the floor at that very time do not have. And that is why the Constitution makes it clear that 104, 102, you cannot vote. The Supreme Court judges were very silent and quiet on those articles of the Constitution, but just went straight for 109, which talks about people representation. And if the person is in Parliament does not exercise his right, he might not be representing the people as a Constitution wants it, which is wrong.
Okay, that's why the speaker is saying that they should go back to the court again for more clarity there. Yes, Kojo.
Let's put it this way: the judges had actually interpreted the Constitution based on the rules stated, right? But I think they've interpreted it correctly. There was nothing wrong with the interpretation they gave because of the way the Constitution has structured the office holding. But I think the judges could have looked further if the speaker plays the role of, if the deputy speaker plays the role of the speaker, then that devoids him completely of voting. So I think that is where they should have looked. But as an elected representative, it has been interpreted correctly. Every elected representative can vote. So the issue is with the ambiguity within the Constitution framework, which has to be sorted.
Okay. Thank you. Now, let's go to Kofi. Kofi, hello, Kofi.
Hello.
Yes.
There's a saying that patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
And I've been patiently listening to all of you. Everyone probably coming with their opinion, or probably an opinion somebody expressed somewhere that they thought is the case. See, on this issue that was taken to the Supreme Court, the whole problem that happened there is bargaining. Alban bargaining is the problem we have, and we need to address it further. Rather than looking for what do you call it, a pin in the hay.
Okay, so why is Alban bargaining the problem?
He is the one who instructed the case to be taken to the Supreme Court for interpretation. Now listen, the ambiguities, the Constitution is very clear. The Constitution, right, did not say that a person who will be the speaker, the Constitution said, to be a speaker of Ghana Parliament, you may be a sitting MP, in other words, you have a constituency, or you may not. We checked that problem, and it is clear the Constitution addressed that issue. So, Alban Bargaining is elected member of Parliament. He has a constituency. Be clear about that.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
He is a member of parliament.
No.
He is a member of parliament.
No, he's not. Kofi, he's not.
Okay. Now, a member of parliament can still be a speaker. Go and read that section in the constitution. I will clear the Alban Bagwin case. I believe he is. You say he's not. That's not a contention here. Mike Okwe is not. Bagwin, I think, is, because we remember when the issue came up, when he stepped in. Now, for you to be, as soon as you assume the seat of the speaker, as the constitution clearly says, you become like the president of the parliament. Parliament is framed in Ghana as per our democratic system. Parliament sets its own rules. So, all laws that are contained in our constitution, if those laws have problems, right? We don't sit down only on the constitution. Parliament have the power to go through the lawmaking process and make a law that will meet the need. So we are not going to change the constitution. What we are going to do is to make a law that addresses the issue without contravening the position of the constitution. And therefore, when Bagwin came in and we have a hung parliament, I would say, a parliament that is not balanced in number, they should have sat down to adjust the rules of the parliament, because parliament need to make its own rules. Now, the constitution said yes, the speaker is not going to have, because at the time it's assumed only the speaker will be the one to do it. Then, if the speaker is absent, do you understand? Like a referee, he will not have vote. If the speaker is absent, the deputy, the person who has accepted to be the deputy, steps in. Automatically, he becomes the speaker. Because all decision made, if the normal speaker comes back, assuming this particular speaker is sitting there for decision making, if the decisions that are made, when the real speaker comes in, when the deputy speaker or the deputy speaker sits on issue, you don't reverse it. It's still exactly what it is. And therefore, there is just as good as the speaker himself is there. So the speaker, anybody who steps into the position of the speaker, automatically loses their what? Their power to vote. Remember, Kwesi Pratt was very clear about when the thing happened. He said, yes, it's good for the NDC because I listened to him. He said, because anytime they move to that seat, they will also be losing the seat. That is why the MPP were not in a rush, you understand, to take the second speaker. They went for the third deputy speaker, the second deputy speaker, because it will still give them the chance to keep their number. Now, the more the position of the speakership, normally, ideally, majority will present what? The speaker. Why? Because they still have the number. So they gain on both sides. Speaker has the power to influence and determine the direction of flow of the business of the house. Right? So in this case, there was no clear majority, and that's why we ended up where we did. The only problem we are having here is when you take such a case to parliament, to court, what you've done is that the power of the parliament has come down. Because technically it's like, because remember, the decision of the Supreme Court in itself is a law. So technically, this parliament has abrogated their own power to the Supreme Court, which is not the power of the Supreme Court.
So you mean that it is wrong for them to have gone to the Supreme Court for interpretation?
It is totally wrong for them to even refer the case to the Supreme Court. Totally wrong for them to refer that case to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court only made a means out of the means. It's not their business. There are issues when there is conflict among different departments of the state. This is an internal conflict of the parliament. It's not an external issue. When there is a problem between parliament and and the executive, then there's a clash. So that's why we have the principle of separation of power to deal with this problem. But this is an internal issue of parliament. Why should parliament take their own internal business to court? Okay. When we know that parliament can even instruct the court to back off when a member of parliament has an issue that the court is interested in, they'll tell them to back up because this is an internal parliamentary issue. They want to deal with it. We've had so many instances of that nature. So why at this time did we make that blunder? Now, let me stop there. That issue for me is a blunder.
Okay, let's finish with
get
that.
some
Just hold on.
clarification. Let's put on record that Bagbin did not instruct Abdullahi, who took the issue to court. What Bagbin did was to say go to court for a review, but he did not say, or he did not instruct Abdullahi whatsoever that take the issue to court. I mean, that must be corrected. So that is
that is from my source.
Okay, no, he did not. He did. No, we do not have any records to substantiate.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just a minute. Kofi, I want us to finish with this. Voting by the deputy, please. Then
there's a point again that we're not being fair to the Supreme Court, because if you read the entire judgment, which I've had a privilege of reading, getting to the lower part of it, apart from the judgment that which the headline grabbing over there, they still referred that because Parliament regulates itself. Even though the outstanding order is not consistent with Constitution, and you should understand Constitution the mother of all laws. Every other law that is made in Ghana must be consistent with the Supreme Court. And they found that what they call that standing order is not consistent with the what they call the people representative section of the Constitution. But they refer the issue back to Parliament. That Parliament must look at its own standing orders again, but they are not asking the Speaker or Parliament to basically say, okay, because we've said this, throw away your standing orders. And in fact, we saw that exercise on the floor of Parliament, I think yesterday or 3 days ago, when Haruna actually has to use the Supreme Court's decision to topple a motion to pass a loan agreement. That this is what they're saying. If we are not counting you, because the Supreme Court differentiated between a quorum for business, a quorum for voting. And as I yesterday, the quorum for business, they
didn't form a quorum, so they decided no.
So that loan agreement. So those are just a few things. But hey, we're still evolving.
Okay, let me see whether Kojo has got any reaction to that before we move on to the other area that Kofi wanted to touch on. Kojo.
Yeah, I would just say one thing. There's one thing that Kofi was right on. Parliament in Ghana is supposed to be supreme in itself, right? So a case going from Parliament to court for a court to make a decision, they have actually abrogated their own right to make a determination, because Parliament should be supreme, and as we all know, there should be that kind of separation of power. The judges are supposed to interpret the laws from Parliament. So if Parliament themselves are having, I think it went to court because they wanted the judges to interpret that portion of the work of Parliament. But I think at that point they should have thought through before going. It should have been interpreted by themselves. But again, because it's opposition and ruling government, it becomes a difficult thing for them to arrive at a decision. So a choice to go to court would have been definitely inevitable. So it would have gone anyway. So I think that's why I will conclude on.
Okay. Listen, at Starr Radio UK, I've got Kojo and Kofi online, and I've got Mr. Frank Davis with me in the studio. I'm Archie, and we are looking at some of the issues making the rounds. We were just looking at the right for the speaker, the deputy speaker of Parliament, whilst he's sitting in as the speaker, should vote as a ruling from the Supreme Court. But some more information from that shows that if they don't form a quorum as well, there cannot be laws or any decisions made per se.
And that finally on that, Archie, and that is taken from, if you look at Article 102 of our Constitution, it says and I'm quoting straight from the Constitution. Kofi, just 1 minute. It says a quorum of Parliament apart from the person presiding. It did not say whether the deputy, the speaker. So apart from the person presiding shall be 1/3 of all the members of parliament. So basically, if you don't form 1/3, you cannot form, and that's what happened on the loan issue what I said. Now if you go to 104, where we're looking at, except as otherwise provided in this constitution, matters in parliament shall be determined by the votes of majority of members present and voting with at least half of all the members of parliament present. Now this is the contention here. The speaker shall not have neither an original nor casting vote. Where the votes or any motion are equal, it shall be taken to be a loss. Now they said the speaker shall not have neither an original or casting vote, and it again says that to form a quorum, the person presiding shall not be part
of it.
So the question here is, if you are presiding as a deputy and you are not forming a quorum, but they say the quorum must be those who are present to be able to prove. How come you can vote when it comes to deciding the business that has been decided? So that between 104 and 102, that is where we are. But the judges actually, I mean,
they just use
they run away from that.
Okay. Well, if you have any take on this, feel free. You can put it on our Facebook page. We'll be able to read them. Or if you also want to join the discussion, why not? Feel free to do so. Let's go to Kofi for his other submission that he wanted to make. Kofi.
Yes, I'll still search to confirm whether Bagbin is still member of, because there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, when not Makokwe, what's the name of that one?
Makokwe.
The one who did the last one.
Makokwe.
No,
Makokwe.
the one before. No,
Peter.
the one before him.
Ajaho.
He was still he has his constituency. Go and check at that time, and he still presided.
Yeah, Ajaho had his constituency, and parliament.
Joe Ajaho.
Yeah, he has his constituency, and the parliament. Again, the speaker, the constitution says that, I think 101 or the 10, it says a member of a parliament shall have a member either from or someone by qualified position. But we know Bagwin did not stood for election in the year 2000. Okay. He actually didn't go for a re-election. He gave up. Yeah.
Okay.
Well. That's because why I'm bringing this up as part of the discussion. There was a place where people were saying, I don't want to direct this at anyone. It's not personal. That you won't have a constituency to be a speaker. You may or may not, if you read the article you are reading, you may or you may. Because a member of parliament who still have a constituency can take that seat.
Yeah.
But when you take the seat, your constituency is there, but you don't have a vote.
Yes. Yes.
Now that's what that thing said. And that clears everything. What I want to bring our mind to is back to Frank. And the reason is not directly to Frank.
No worries.
It's on the case of another issue that was taken to the Supreme Court regarding the birth certificate.
Yeah.
Which came up during the registration of national identity card. Whether you have a national identity card to be able to, what are the documents you need? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that you'll be able to register. The argument that was taken to court, let us be very careful. It's not that the birth certificate is useless or you don't need a birth certificate as a guardian. The argument that was taken to court is that since a decision has been made to have a new voters register, right? And therefore which will come with an ID card. Those issuing the voters ID card and put your name down do not have at the location where they will be operating means of verifying and going through the nitty-gritty of whether a birth certificate is authentic or not. And therefore, that birth certificate still will play a role when you are collecting your passport, a lot of other documents, that birth certificate will still be valid. But the department that will be responsible for using your birth certificate to give you the national identity card that you will need to have your your voter ID card. You understand? That department is organized enough to check those details. So anyone who is going for their national identity card, you need that birth certificate or other document to prove that you are the person standing there. But when you come to getting your voter's ID card, that birth certificate will not be applicable. Can you see? That was the argument that some parties say no, they want the birth certificate to be added to the requirement for getting the voter's ID card. And another faction said no. And that is not the case. And the EC tend to be on the side of those who said that it shouldn't be. They took the case to court, and the judges looked at the case very well. And the judges said, on the case you brought here, as to whether someone who is in Syrian, when you come to giving people what do you call it, identity, voters ID card, where you want every Ghanaian to have one. It is different from when you are giving national identity card. You can give foreigners national identity card. It only shows that they are foreigners. They cannot vote in Ghana. Can you see? It is the ID card when you take it to those who are registering the voters. They will see now this one has an ID card, but it's a Lebanese. This one has an ID card, but it's a Nigerian, so he cannot be registered. Can you see? Which the birth certificate is not the document to deal with those ones.
But Kofi, just a quick interjection there. Now, at the time that the court was ruling that way, they didn't have, the national identity card, people didn't have it. You get it?
Yes.
They didn't have it. So it's like putting the cart before the horse.
Okay, let me Kofi.
Let me make my case here. Let me make my case here before Frank will come in, because my reaction is to what Frank said. To be careful. So let me make myself very clear. Those who didn't have the national those who are going to use their birth certificate, you understand, rather than their national ID card. And I will tell you, honestly, if you go to Ghana now, you need birth certificate. I can get you 50. You see, because the power is given to the local government to deal with that, and the local government issue birth and death certificate. Now, let me come in here. You see, we are not talking about NDC people who are denied the right to have this document, or MPP. It's all Ghanaians. The problem is not to say, oh, because the NPP people know that one day this will come, so they went quickly to go and have their identity card. No, it's all Ghanaians. All Ghanaians. So let us stop making this thing partisan and political.
Kofi,
it's a national issue. This ID card issue has been there for far too long.
Kofi,
it's in the interest of Ghanaians to have ID card.
Okay, Kofi, let me come in here. In this country or in Europe, we know nations who have ID cards.
Yeah.
The question we are talking about, or the issue over here, has nothing to do with NDC or MPP. We have an issue to deal with our nationality and what proves who we are as Ghanaians. There are two issues that we're looking at over here. You want us to obtain ID cards, and you are telling us that the only way to identify ourselves as people who must be given or who are eligible to be given ID cards must be people who are able to present passports
or national identity card
or ID cards, which most we don't have,
we didn't have at the time,
or bring two people who can guarantee to prove that we are Ghanaians. Now, when you look at a passport, the original source of passport, you cannot be granted a passport without a birth certificate. You cannot be granted a passport. So the question therefore is, if the source document that gave birth to passport cannot be accepted, and if it is true that majority of people do not have passports, then why are you denying people the opportunity to use birth certificate? Because if we are not saying that birth certificate is useless, then what is its purpose? Because if I cannot use it to authenticate where I was, that I'm a Ghanaian, that
what can I use to
then what can I use it for? Is it for toilet paper? Is it for what? What is the use of birth certificate today? What is it? Because most of us, when we went to obtain our when we went to obtain our driving licenses, sometimes when we went to school, when we went to certain colleges, we are asked to produce our birth certificates, right? Now, even all those are being closed. That okay, you must, even banks now, you have to use ID. So the question is, if I cannot use my birth certificate to prove that I was birthed in Ghana, what is the use of the birth? That is the question. I mean, for me, it's for discussion.
Okay, come in. Kojo, I will come to you, please. Just a minute. Let's hear Kofi.
Frank. I think we need to put emotions aside. See, your ID card, your ID card.
I don't have one.
No, I'm talking. Let me talk. I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
The person's ID card had their picture on it. Your passport has a picture on it. Your driver's license has a picture on it. Your birth certificate doesn't have a picture on it. Now, see, we are then saying that, or those arguing are saying that, they want Ghanaians to have a picture identity card en masse. Now, one of the ways to encourage these people to have that identity card en masse is that they need to go and use their birth certificate, which is the original, the source document, to get a picture identity. And when they all have as much as possible a picture identity, that identity will give them subsequent documents they need as Ghanaians. In this case, it will allow them to be able to have their voters' identity card. I think we are adding emotion to this. I am sitting under a tree. My job from the Electoral Commission, I don't have any idea about anything, is that I'm under a tree in most of our villages. My job is anyone who comes with evidence of being a national of Ghana, I should give him a voter's ID card. Then people start coming with the same birth certificate. Their picture is not there. The address is not there. Nothing is there. Then I'll be giving all of them. In fact, they can come with 50. Then you have replicated names, replicated identity on the eventual register. And then you say, why is the same person having so many identities? Because you don't have time to go and be checking. What we then said is that go in advance, applicable to all Ghanaians, get this picture identity, which is the national identity card that all Ghanaians.
How do you get it? How do you get identity? How do you get identity?
I've answered you. There is a separate department responsible for that.
No, how do you get it? How do I prove?
So how do you prove that?
How do I prove that ID?
See. Your passport, which we use.
I don't have a passport. It's not everyone who has a passport. Look, we have only 2 million people in Ghana who have passports.
Hello.
Yeah.
You can use your driver's license.
I don't have a driving license. My mommy doesn't drive.
You don't want to listen or you don't want to listen. You made
but we're telling you we don't have those documents.
And you have a birth certificate. And you came with a birth certificate.
Yeah.
Then we even said if you don't have a birth certificate, look for some people who say they know you. And you come with them, isn't it?
No.
You are going to, listen, you are going to be given an identity card. So you take your birth certificate. People who know you, 2 or 3 in the community, if you don't have a birth certificate, that is why they say come with people who can vouch they know you, because they know you may not have a birth certificate. Can you see?
Kofi, don't miss issue. I think Kofi, you are jumping things together. Look, the ruling says that birth certificates cannot be allowed. You can even send people.
No. You are misinterpreting the ruling. Totally for selfish.
Well,
I'm sorry. Let me tell you. The ruling said if you do not have a birth an ID card, right? If you do not have a national identity card, you cannot be allowed to have a voter's registration card. As simple as it is. They didn't say, so what they are saying that your birth certificate as it is, no identity, no picture, any fool can be one. Or you can even go to Kojo solicitors, they'll do one for you under the tree. Oath and this thing. My own was done by some old people. So you go there, go and tell them you are a CBC, they'll do one for you. We say, okay, go and get that one. When you bring that one, it will go to the data bank. In future, when you have an issue,
so why did the Supreme Court not say that? Look, until the time that everybody gets a national identity card, we will.
Do you know, my brother, do you know how many years? Even my old national identity card, half the members of Ghana Parliament don't have it. Let me be honest with you. Identity card issue came during the time of President Kufuor. NDC came, they continue. How they all did it, we don't know. 90% of Ghanaians didn't take the ID card. Can you see? So this is an opportunity to force all of them. My junior brother is an MPP member. When I went last time, we were going to the National Identity Card Office together. So what we are trying to let you guys understand is that, right? See, good or bad, it is an administration that will put something on the table. And that may be good for us or bad for us. If it is bad for us, like Frank is trying to prove, let us talk about it and have a common consensus. And if it's good for us, do not let us hide behind majority. Oh, I like Frank, I like this thing, I like my end. So because of that, I'll join the bandwagon. No. Let us put the issue on the table. Yes, we are aware majority don't have. Some even don't have the money to pay to get their, the birth certificate. That's the argument. There are some who said, when David said, okay, everybody should rush and go and do it, it's going to be easy. They said they don't have the money. Then they told them that, okay, go, it will be done cheaper or free. They still say they can't do it. They can't even do the birth certificate. That's what they are telling you.
Okay.
Listen, we have a rotten system in Ghana where drivers, when you say, oh, come and have a driver's license, let us see whether you are, they go on strike, they go on demonstration, so you lead them, and they go about killing people. We have that attitude in Ghana, that we follow the crowd and use the crowd voice as the voice of the people, led by ignorance, and we try to make simple things complicated. See, whether we like it or not, there was an election. Me, my own problem is, why didn't they encourage Olayomi to do this thing rather than changing her? That's all the problem I have.
Okay.
She would have done the same thing and we would have this problem. Because when you come, you say, well, she was appointed during the time NDC is there, but this is what she's doing. NPP cannot say no because the president is there. So then we will have the job done. But this man rushed and removed the woman from there unjustifiably. Okay. And look at, so everything now in Ghana is partisan. Right. When one says something, the other one will say something. Even if it's good, they will stand against it. Okay. And that is not good for nation building. Let us learn to understand we are building one nation. There is no NDC government alone. There's no MPP government. In parliament, we have both sides. Okay. We have one country, one people, and one destiny. There are better things to waste our time on. If we feel there is a need for national identity card, let us all embrace it and go. And everybody, right now in Ghana, even when you are going to have a mobile phone, when you have a mobile phone, without the ID card, when you are going to register a company, when you are even very soon, when you are going to toilet without ID card in Ghana, you can't get it.
Okay, Kofi, thank you very much for that submission. Now let's see, Kojo.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening to everything that has been said. I'm not sure I have anything to add onto it. Okay. Apart from concluding with picking up one thing that has been said in the discourse about we not rushing into moving people from office to serve our own purposes, but we have to work with what is in the office and improve it. So I think that has been the whole problem that has erupted out of these ID card issues. So let's put it this way: I don't even have an ID card. I wasn't even in Ghana when it was first muted. I wasn't even in Ghana when President Kufuor had that idea. I mean, or even pre-President Kufuor wasn't actively in Ghana. So let's put it out. And all my goings and outings of Ghana, I've never had a need to have an ID card. I go with my Ghana passport. And as we are talking, I don't even know where my birth set is. Because I was born in somewhere that later on the birth and death offices got destroyed when they kept paper copies and archives copies, and they were not put into computers. So and when I applied for my passport years ago, maybe in the 80s, 87, when I had my first passport and I took my birth set together, they said bring your birth set, do a photocopy of it, bring it to the passport office, and we will return the original to you. And my original birth cert was registered at the point of my birth, so that was even before 3 months. I didn't get it back. I didn't get the copy also back.
Oh.
So I am.
So now you are birth certificate less.
I'm telling you the fact. Without a birth cert, and I'm not sure where to even go and trace it.
Okay, interesting.
So I have only a passport. I've been renewing the passport year after. Whenever it's due for renewal, I just go and renew it. And my last 3 passports I've renewed. They've all been renewed here in the United Kingdom. So when I go to Ghana, I plan to get a Ghana card because I want to have a mobile phone.
Oh.
I don't know how I'm going to navigate around having a mobile phone and not having a Ghana card. So that is the issue at stake now. I don't have a birth cert. So,
okay.
So I think I've said this, that I'm not alone in this. Right? There are people that might be like me who also have similar situations. So the system has to be made in such a way that it is flexible. That if you don't have a birth cert now, how do you prove your nationality? Look, my dad is dead and gone. My uncles are all gone. The only person I have in Ghana now is my mom. So I will need one more person to prove who I am.
Now you heard Ghanaian. Well, they can tell you know what they say. They say speak tree. They ask you a question in tree. If you are not able to say, he's not a Ghanaian.
Can I come in? Can I come in to
Yeah, I was going to just run up that because I needed one other topic that I wanted us to have a look at quickly. So quickly.
On Kojo's issue, Kojo, you don't have problem at all. It's sad. The people I hate in my life most are those I'm speaking for, in a way. Kojo, you can easily go to Ghana, you understand? And when you go with your passport that you have, that document, you don't need an ID card. You get an ID card with that.
Okay.
Can you understand me? Yeah, you don't need your passport that you have now is enough for you to have an identity card. And if you want to, that is the argument most people are making is that most Ghanaians don't even have passports or driver's license. What do you do with them? So it's not about you. Go, that's number one. Number two, Kojo. Number two, that indirectly you don't need your mom. What you can also do, when you go with your passport, you can have a birth certificate made for you. The date will be different, but all your details will be there. And with that birth certificate, it's as good as the original. Do you understand me?
Okay.
Anything you want in Ghana, because your passport that you have it's a source document. A proof that at a point in time you had a birth certificate. How you got the passport is not. At the point in time you have the source document, but something went wrong. At best they can tell you to bring a police report, which they normally don't. Do you understand? So you actually, when we are talking about people who have problems, you are the least of our problems.
Okay.
You are the least. You don't want to those we are helping because we have so many people from West Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, and so on, Liberia, who are in Ghana, and they have problem of what to do to get an identity card. Because if you are in Ghana, you don't have mobile phone, life can be tough. Very tough. There are so many things. People like you, people are saying go to Ghana, maybe with your little income reserve, you can have a business. So you are not the one for Ghanaians who want to discourage, because you will employ someone, even if you are building a house. Without this document, you understand, you cannot. So it is better you are encouraged. Even Jamaicans are going to get that ID card, talk less of you. Lebanese, they are all getting it. So my brother, be rest assured.
You have Kofi. Kofi will come with you, and then Frank, they will be your witnesses.
But at the end of the day, what if it's going to get? Why is he going to get a birth certificate? Because I mean, the birth certificate, you don't need it; it's useless.
God to your local government.
Kojo, you don't need it. Kofi, it's a waste of time. What is it going to? Okay, what is it? What use would the birth certificate be, Kojo?
The information on your passport would be your information.
Kofi, I understand that, but the question I then ask is, what is the use of it? What's the use of birth to Kojo? What will be the use of birth certificate?
Maybe when you want to register a company
for what?
For them to know that you are Ghanaian, they will need that.
No, Kofi, hold on. Let's
is the source document for you to get all that document for you to have the ID card.
What use is a birth certificate today?
It has its own purpose.
What use? Give me one.
When you die, they'll be able to say that you lived.
No, give me one.
You were born and you died.
Give me one. Just one.
Let me tell you the use of a birth certificate.
No, just one.
And I'm going to give you one.
Okay.
If you don't have birth certificate, then you cannot, and you don't have other documents, you can't have a Ghana passport.
Okay, I don't need a Ghana passport. I'm a Ghanaian. I'm not traveling anywhere. What is the use of a... No, hold on, Kofi. No, it's not about... Stop imputing personality this thing
today.
It's
why we are where we are today.
No, we are asking...
In this country, there are people who don't have passports.
We are asking relevant questions. Yeah. The question is that I do not have a passport. I don't drive. I don't need any of them. What is the use of a birth certificate for someone in that shoe?
Majority of those who don't have the document you are talking about, they don't even have birth certificate. So don't waste your time.
So the question I'm asking is that
the people you are talking about that have this kind of understanding of how to go about issues, they don't even have birth certificate.
So the question we're asking, what is the use of a birth certificate? That's the basic question.
Use their travel mark, my friend.
What did he say?
We should use their travel marks to identify them as Ghanaians.
Okay, that's all right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's what they're arguing. And we are saying we don't have time. Ghana must move on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Your birth certificate is important. When you are taking your child to school, they will ask for the birth certificate.
Okay.
And you must have a birth certificate for your child to go to school in Ghana. You have to understand. The birth certificate is very important. You see, the coming generation will not have problem myself and Kojo had.
Okay.
And maybe I would say Archie and Frank had. Our problem was our mothers were not even keeping any record. There was no record. You just go and tell them I was born in Kolibu. Finish.
Okay. Kofi, thank you. Thank
you.
When
my mother gave me my own weighing card, I lost it.
Okay.
So you need to understand that documents, time is changing. Now you can scan it, you can do so many things to your birth certificate. However, the rule is very clear. Your birth certificate is not the same as other documents. I can't go and use my birth certificate and say I have a birth certificate, so I want to drive a car. You can't drive a car, you need to drive a license.
Kofi, thank you very much. Let me acknowledge Bashir Abdusalam Taron Bade. It's a good afternoon, my brothers watching live from Yobe State.
That's my
northeastern Nigeria. Alhaji Bashir.
Yeah, that's my father.
Good afternoon to you, Alhaji. Okay then. Now we're going to be running up. We've got about 5 minutes. Now there's this story that has brewed from a strip set that was done to a black girl.
Yeah.
And it's worried me because most of us have got children who are going to school. Now I don't know whether because of stereotyping or because of racism, it's quite worrying because this girl, after these 2 years, I mean, she was smelling of cannabis. Take it that even the vehicle that she sat in, the people who were in the vehicle were smoking. Maybe the parents do smoke. Why should she be strip searched? And I think that it's about time that we campaign that those people, the school authorities, the police who are all involved in it are sanctioned properly.
Actually, let me ask you a question before everything. What is your problem? Is it that you are surprised or is wrong? Which one? I want to know.
I thought that this one they're taking it too far now. Too far.
Why? Is it because a lady that has been strip searched or because of or you think such search do not go on again?
Well, it goes on.
Okay, it goes on. To be honest with you, I don't know, but I don't know the experience of most people. But I wasn't surprised, and I'm not surprised, and I will never be surprised that if as we're speaking now, someone is being strip searched. I will not be surprised at all. I have been strip searched before. Personally, I've been strip searched before. I was returning from China. I got to airport. They thought the way I was traveling up and down, I was dealing drugs. They took me to a room, strip searched me. So I do not have a problem. I don't see it as surprising. When between 2004 to 2008 in Credin area, the kind of harassment I had from the police. So some of these things do not surprise me at all. And if you talk to a lot of people who might be at the receiving end of some of these things, it doesn't surprise them. It is only that it is not spoken about. A lot of people do not complain about it. I was listening to a radio, like I was saying yesterday, where a lady came in to say that, look, she experienced the same thing. She couldn't tell the mom, she couldn't tell anyone, only her friends. And to date, she feels violated to a point that psychologically, when she see the police, she hates them with a passion. Are you get me? Actually, when we talk of systemic racism, it exists. We fail to acknowledge it. Are you getting me? Now, the question I have with this issue, at what point are schools allowed to call in police officers on a child?
When a child has a weapon, I mean,
are you getting me?
Supposed to call?
So that's my only worry. At what point, if for instance the school authorities have strip searched this girl?
I think you said there's no time.
Kofi.
If there's no time,
Kofi,
we shouldn't go into so many other things. Everybody should also have a chance to make
the
only time we are waiting. Kojo is waiting. I'm waiting.
I'll come to you. Frank, finish what you are saying, please.
Kofi, sometimes, to be honest with you, I might be honest with you, I don't like the way you sometimes comment.
I know.
I don't like it. So some of these comments
you may take
are
offense,
friendly.
but you are giving examples and asking questions.
Archie,
Archie said time is up, so all of us will not say much.
Okay, let Frank finish. Kofi, let Frank finish.
Actually, the only if the school, for instance, had called in, or probably we are being told that the school, for instance, they had an officer, a PE officer, or someone strip search this lady, I wouldn't have that much of a problem because it's something that it will not be. But my worry, especially at what point in time do schools have
to invite the police to come to the place to come and do something like
especially that is where, for me, the education authorities will need to educate us all and probably look at the guidelines, because if someone is smelling, probably your nose might even be wrong at that very point in time. Your sense of smell might have be corrupted, and you are inviting a police officer on someone. It's not a people with a weapon. For instance, I might have sat in a car that probably someone was smoking or someone. If that warrants police officers coming to the school, then I don't think we do have a big problem.
Okay, let's go quickly to Kofi, because Kojo, I will come to you because Kofi, there's a noise in his background, so let's go to him. Kofi.
Quickly, I won't be able to say much because how do I say? Time is not on our side. But let me quickly do something. You see, the question on which we have to discuss could not take into consideration context. I don't know where this thing happened. I was only told that something has happened somewhere. We're not giving more details on where and how, because we are talking, is it in Ghana where somebody was roughly searched on their racial basis? Is it in Germany? Is it in US? Is it in UK? I don't know. And therefore it will be difficult for me. Maybe Frank has also watched the video. Archie has watched it. But Kofi Ali, and I don't know whether Joe have watched it. So I don't know what this real issue is for me to say, it's a racial issue. Or it is an issue of someone, whether it's white, green, yellow, or black, or whatever, is holding cannabis, and there is law against cannabis in that community. Maybe my problem is the way the person was handled is not proper. So I think the question should have been framed properly, and or you play the video or tell us about the video. Then we know, is it in America where they are all very violent at each other? Is it in UK? The way they approach the law is different. So I don't think I will have much to say on this subject.
Thank you very much, Kofi. Thank you very much. Okay, let's come to Kojo, because I know Kojo had that information. Kojo.
Well, let me put it this way. But to answer part of Kofi's question, it happened right in the flat in Hackney. It was a school in Hackney and a 15-year-old child in Hackney. So the issue is 4 policemen were involved. Okay, 4 police officers. Let me redefine. 4 police officers were involved. 2 were men, 2 were women. And why it is really worrying is that an underage person should never be questioned or strip searched without the permission of their own parents. So
Yeah.
for that reason, the school failed. The school should have actually called a parent or an adult to who the child knows to be with the child, or the police people who went there, the police officers, should have, according to what the law states, the police people should have the parent of the child should be informed before that strip search takes place. So that is how, if that child were from a private school, I mean his white child in a private school, a 15-year-old white child, will the private school allow that to happen? The answer will be no. If they were even going to bring in, let's put it this way, the 4 police officers come and do the strip search, they will ensure that, look, the law, the laid down rules are followed. But on this case, none of the laid down rules were followed. Okay, if an adult is strip searched, like Frank said, the adult doesn't need a parent to be there. The same way when a child is taken to the police station for questioning, there must be the child's parent. So that is where I think everybody thinks, everybody knows is wrong. And 2 of the police officers were female, and they were carrying out the strip search. And what was violating about it, why people thought they violated her personal space, is simply because she had her period just at the same time.
While the and made a strip to that extent.
And to give you an idea, when they do the strip search, which Frank is likely have experienced, look, don't give you any pictures for this evening whilst you, or for this lunchtime. Look, they make you bend over. I haven't had any before. But when you ask other policemen, they tell you they make you bend over because they want to look into your butt to see whether you've hidden the drug there. So you use both hands to open it up for them to see whilst you're bent over. So why would you put a 15-year-old child through that experience when under the rule, under the law, you should have a parent? A parent should be informed. And on this occasion, a parent wasn't informed. And again, the suspicion of I smell cannabis on you is being used time and time and time and time again.
What if it's the perfume that the person used?
People. Yeah, I mean, I used to teach in a school where there was this guy who came in all the time. He smelled like Harry. We asked him to go out. So, and we later on realized that it was where he was hanging his coat.
Yeah.
He was hanging his coat close to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Of his house. So all the Caribbean cook in the kitchen went into the coat. So if this girl hung her coat close to a place where people were smoking, it could be any smoke, it could be cannabis. Can the teachers really, and those police officers really tell what the scent of cannabis is?
Have they smoked some before? We need to find out. Are they smoking it?
That is the
Actually, it's humiliating. It is. Kojo, it's good you haven't experienced it before. It's humiliating. Okay, it's humiliating. My case, I didn't have a problem because I know I wasn't carrying any drug. I mean, I wasn't. But
you are an adult, so you think that you
humiliating. The strip, even you have to take your pants off. Look, my panties were scanned.
Oh wow!
Actually, I'm telling you, look, your hair, everything about you will be scanned. You have to go belly naked, everything.
Yeah, but
it's humiliating.
Do that in the school.
It's humiliating.
Yeah, it's humiliating. That's what people are saying. To a 15-year-old girl without her parent there. And again, young black children, both girls and boys, are kind of being viewed as adults, which is completely wrong. How can you see a 14-year-old black boy and think they are an adult and subject them to that type of thing without their outdoor parent being around? I mean, I think that is where people have gotten angry. They won't do that
to, I mean, Caucasians.
A 15-year-old
no.
Caucasian. That is why it's so revolting and so people are so angry about it. And the schools have the school and equally the Met Police have to answer for what they've done.
Okay. Final action on that. I think I don't know if Kojo has information on that, but I think if the parents have not withdrawn the girl from that school, they should change the school for her, because the trust between the girl and the school authority is gone.
It's gone.
And
Totally.
what will be happening with that environment? It happened 2 years ago. I mean, that was 2 years ago. That this issue happened. The report was commissioned last year. But I think if the girl is in that school, my advice now that it's public domain,
15, she would have still been in that school.
If she's still in that school, they should change her school immediately.
Immediately. Okay, Frank, thank you very much. Kojo, thank you very much. Kofi, thank you very much. Yeah, I think we're running up.
2 minutes. I was going to end up with something Frank said earlier on.
Okay.
About the Iranian hostage.
Radcliffe to release.
There is something in the international relations study or diplomatic studies called hostage diplomacy. So the person doesn't have to be a spy for them to be held as hostage. So Iran has used that for several times again, especially when somebody has worked with the BBC. And Iran views any foreign media as a propaganda against Iran. So if I happen to have worked, a South African has been held hostage. So it is not just British or American citizens or Canadian citizens. They've held even a South African citizen a hostage in Iran. So that is the order of the day. So it wasn't that there was something not being told us. Yeah, fine. If you even teaching journalism, Iran teaches journalism. Look,
BBC journalism. Nah.
But they view anything from the Western institutions as propaganda, except it's a medical thing. But anything from a Western journalist is propaganda. So if you've been involved in working in any of those Western media and you want to go to Iran, be very careful. If you're a dual citizen holder, even if you are not a dual citizen holder, be very careful. I mean, in my young days, I used to be actively involved in Ghana in the Iranian Culture Center. But one of the reasons why I stopped being there was some of these reasons. I went there frequently. I appreciated them, their culture and everything. I have friends today. I have numerous friends in the UK who are Iranian, but they never want to go to Iran. And it's even a crime carrying 2 passports in Iran. So most of them will go with the Iranian passport and come when they get out of Iran. They use their British passport to enter Britain. So that's for you. So that's Iran. That's how they are. That's how the government is. That's how they operate.
Okay.
As to what, So I think I'll end there. It's 10 minutes past the hour.
Kofi, Kojo, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that enlightenment as well. And Kofi, thank you too. God willing, tomorrow we'll be back to bring you the Friday edition of the morning show. So, gentlemen, have a lovely, jubbly afternoon. Okay, listeners, this is where we are bringing the program to a close for today. Like I said, my panelists, thank you very much for all your submissions there. This afternoon, exactly at 6 o'clock, or this evening, let me put it that way. Okay, we will be hosting BB Clement on a repeat broadcast, and then at 7 o'clock exactly we'll be having the one and only KB Bossman and Vicky Newton bringing you the property hour. So on that note, I say thank you very much and enjoy this song from Atongo Zimba. It says No Beer in Heaven. See you all tomorrow. Bye bye for now.
Sala, te vas a batir a sala.
na sala mo sala no me sala but in my yele my pale living in the world my brother living in the world my sister but you live in this world you living in the world mama some are really go hate you some are really go love you and some are really go hate you yeah we do all